Oh, Rich, you need to share this here, please. What's up? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Unapologetically Black, Never Broken, Always Empowered. I am Brittany, joined by Jamal and Rich. How y'all?
What up?
What up, though?
Yeah. How you been?
Better. I will not lie. Better. I've gotten better sleep. Finally cracked 170. So like I'm 178. So issues I've had is at every like threshold, 90, 190, fucking 180. I stay at that 91, 181 for like fucking 3 weeks. And for some reason, I stay there and then eventually I go under it. So for the last like 2 weeks, I've been at 181, 182. And then finally, when I get a good night worth of fucking sleep, I wake up, piss, I'm 178. And then I drop all the way down. So I'm going to get all the way down to about 174 by the end of this week and fucking sit there for the next 2 to 3 weeks.
That's real.
So,
that's what's up.
But it's coming down, which is good. How y'all been?
What's up? We've been okay. You know, summer has officially hit our home. So kids are home. Like Ryan had his moving up ceremony because he didn't really graduate. He's still going to be in pre-K, but it'll just be in pre-K 4 next year. But they did a little graduation for him.
What's
Julian,
What's the difference?
3-year-olds versus 4-year-olds. There is no difference. He might even have the same teacher. But
There's no real difference. It's
because there are kids who are going on to kindergarten. They just did something for those who aren't graduating as well.
It made us bring them back.
The Me Too people.
He got a ribbon. It was a
he got a whole
ribbon.
No, it was a
no, but the sentiment is still a participation ribbon.
Yes, the Me Too people. And not the Me Too as in
participation trophy. Yeah,
it was the participation people. That's
it. Julian is officially a first grader. And Izzy's going on to 5th grade. So we went to the pool today. She did not
get a certificate, by the way. She didn't need one.
We went to the pool today. We got memberships to our neighborhood pool and fitness center. So I've been going to the gym. So I've been doing all of my workouts since January at home. But now we got gym memberships. So I've been hitting the gym in the morning, which has been good.
How was your Father's Day, Jamal?
There's a scale that exists there since you were getting on my head last time.
Dog.
Yes, because
I got so my Father's Day was lit. It was pretty fun. So I'm not gonna hold you, Brittany. Brittany got me something I had on my list for a while. I wanted an ice cream maker. Like I'm not a fan of the cold, but I like stuff like ice cream and Slurpees be fucking lit. So I don't care. She got me an ice cream maker and I was super excited. So then she got me like this Eddie Guerrero shirt, like the I'm Your Poppy shirt, which was hilarious because I wore that jen around all day. And the like Funko Pop, the Eddie and Rey Mysterio, because she the GOAT. And then we got our picture taken. Like we were at the pool and some lady from the newspaper, like, you know, nothing like, oh man, you should check this out like nationally, but like
the neighborhood newspaper.
The neighborhood newspaper took our picture and said, like, how would you guys like to be there? Seeing your picture, like see you and the kids. It's pretty cool.
That's good. That's cool.
Yeah.
How was your Father's Day?
It was not as exciting as yours. But it was still good. Izzy is in North Carolina, so she wasn't here. The boys was there. We just hung out. Went to my grandmother's house. They cooked dinner, and then went to my father's house to hang out with him for a little bit. He bought us matching outfits.
That's so cute.
That's what my wife said. That is the gayest shit I've ever fucking seen. Not only are me and my pops matching, and I have a picture of it too.
Dad, I need you to hear me.
And I, again, if he's watching this,
don't do this to me, Dad.
Great idea. And everyone says, "Oh, that's so cute."
He is.
But my pops is not that great, and I make fun of him because he's not that great at dressing. As a matter of fact, he's pretty bad at it. Oh, that's definitely not my wife. Hold on. There we go. And so I'm gonna see. She sent it to me. Here we go.
Oh wow, it was bright. Y'all look like y'all gangbanging out here.
Yeah, and so it's like now, mind you, it's the same size. It's the same size shirt and pants.
That's hilarious.
But I completely fill out mine while his is like super loose on him.
That's your takeaway?
Yeah.
So
I was like, Pops, I definitely fill out this shirt while you don't.
That's so funny and adorable.
But other than that, it was pretty good. We got to hang out, chill with him, made his day. So it was pretty cool.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
But yeah, so today's episode is about AI, artificial intelligence.
Shit, I thought we were talking about the basketball player. I was prepared to talk about how Ty Lue never recovered, winning championships as a coach.
I was getting ready to talk about how AI is not top 10, but okay.
Yeah, no, we're not here to talk about Allen Iverson.
Well, then I'm out.
Or the fact that he was on my future baby daddy list, but that's neither
Your
here nor
future
there.
baby daddy.
Are you ready to shut the conversation down now? All right. So, artificial intelligence and just kind of like the path in which it's going and its effect that it's going to have on society. Yeah, there's been increasingly more information in the news just slowly creeping in about something going on with artificial intelligence, which tells me that like
it's becoming a problem.
Yeah, it's definitely a bigger issue because we always get baby fed as like US citizens, right? Like they feed us things slowly, but like clearly there's some shit happening.
I don't see it as a problem. I can see how people can look at it as a problem. But that's only if you're a boomer who refuses to adapt. And that's what most of the issues are. There are jobs where AI, we say, well, they take over those jobs, but no one wanted to do those jobs to fucking begin with. So like, that is true. When Walmart had an issue staffing cashiers before self-checkout. Like self-checkout made it easier for us. But you had an issue staffing cashiers before then. Grocery stores had an issue staffing cashiers before self-checkout. So
remember that's on the place too, because like not every place has an issue.
But it doesn't matter. Cashiers was an issue, was an undervalued. Undervalued.
Yeah, but that's a Walmart.
I feel like Walmart be having like 2 cashiers, knowing they got 100,000.
Again, they in the 90s and early 2000s, they had all these cashiers set up with people in them, and then they had a problem with staffing them because 1, they were undervalued. And then 2, they became undermanned because nobody wanted to do the job. I'm not going to do it because it came with a customer service job. So this is the American people's fault because they are shit people at offering customer service to the person that's servicing them. Because Americans are entitled assholes. So guess what? I'm not going to do a job, 1, that's not going to pay me very well. You're paying minimum wage. And then 2, where the people I deal with are constant assholes. So guess what? Build a machine that makes it more beneficial because we can't man this shit anyway, to where people can check themselves out. And then we don't have to worry about having more interaction with one another. We just staff a person there to make sure people aren't stealing as much as they are. You know, loss prevention.
As much as they are.
You can only do so much with loss prevention, but you know, you just make sure that they don't walk out with giant shit like, you know, a bike. And you know, TVs.
Yeah.
But, you know, if they stealing candy and shit, they let that shit ride.
That's the issue, like with places like that. Like, how do you stop people from stealing when they're
can't. You can never stop somebody from stealing. Loss prevention is mitigation, it's not prevention. Which is what it should be called. It should be called loss mitigation and not loss prevention. because you cannot prevent people from stealing.
Lost control.
As a former security guard and a security guard, what my wife
you can say, hey, you know, in our terms and conditions of shopping here, you know, we're allowed to check your receipt, you know, spot check bags. Sam's does it. Sam Clubs literally have somebody sit in there and they check your bag. They check all the items in your bag.
I'm sure.
And they have a self checkout on the app. They have registers too, but most of theirs is self checkout on the app, which I find to be way more fucking convenient because I can shop and check out while I'm fucking shopping and then walk the fuck out the door. But but you really can't stop, like, because there's human error inside of it. I could miss something and that you just got lucky with and walked the fuck out.
Yeah, that has definitely happened.
You know, or there's so many people walking out at the same time. I'm not stopping all 15 of them.
Right.
You know, hey, the one that has the biggest bag with some shit that look like it could be, hey, bro, let me make sure you pay for your water.
Exactly.
Hey, bro, let me make sure you pay for the TV. Let me just see the tag real quick. But everybody else is going. So guess what? You cannot stop everybody from stealing.
No, that's true. So I do feel like in certain instances it is beneficial because you're absolutely right. Since the pandemic specifically and the great resignation and people like going into business for themselves, betting on themselves, blah, 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 whatever else they've done, jobs in the customer service industry, in restaurants, all of that, they're necessary. People are looking for those jobs. I mean, you do get like the summer jobs for high school students and, you know, people coming back, like you get that rush, but overall, I do agree with that. But I do think in other instances, it's not as beneficial or as necessary. And in some cases, even dangerous. Like I know like lately there's been AI like scammers that have been like using your voice to call your, you know, a family member saying, hey, I got into a car accident. Can you send me X amount of money? Like that's like
shit. That's not normal.
Yeah, but that's happening today. Yeah. That's not like, oh, that might happen. Like, no, that's happening now.
Called the mom.
That's pretended that they kidnapped the daughter and like thought it was the daughter. It sounded just like
her daughter's voice and everything. They asked her, well, when did you think this stopped being your daughter? She's like, I thought it was my daughter the entire way through. Like, I never for a second thought that this wasn't my daughter.
Yeah. Like if you have a video of yourself online, they can take your voice and make it say whatever, just like the music and all of that.
Yeah. So Drake and The Weeknd got a song out that they never even put out.
Right. Exactly. So
okay, if you're talking about on a scale like that, well then people can take AI and create just about anything they want when it comes to software development.
Yeah.
But as far as the overall beneficial for mankind, I believe it's something that it's going to happen anyway. So we might as well try our best to get on the train to learn it now, so that way we don't become slaves to it.
Right. So then that gets in the way of like scripts and why the TV is off right now. And they're having a whole fucking
screenwriters strike or whatever.
Strike, yeah, for the fact that like AI is writing scripts and they're not getting paid for it. Like they're afraid that they're about to lose their jobs because like human creativity is probably going to die out thanks to AI.
I mean,
like some stuff I think
based off of our last episode, human creativity has died. For a while.
I think a lot of stuff won't, like AI just won't take over because people still require human interaction, right? So a lot of stuff, regardless, they won't take over because people require human interaction, which is why after COVID, a lot of people, like, they didn't give a fuck about being sick anymore. They just wanted to see other people.
Right.
Like, they just wanted to be around other people.
Yeah, and to a certain extent, you do want to be around other people, but to another certain extent, there are people like me who don't give a fuck. Like, I was A-okay in COVID not being around anybody.
But you were around people. You were around me. There were people who were around nobody.
Yeah, like, not a soul.
You had me. You had Snugs. You have family. That's
you
not
on Facebook. You were talking to people. You were going back and forth. You were interacting with people.
Yeah, that's when you were heavy in the Pokemon community.
Yeah, right? That's when I met Rich. So,
but as far as, like, jobs are related, I feel like it makes it easier for the consumer. When I come in, like tap to, like the easiest things, like I love like tap to pay, like vending machines. I come in, I gotta fucking put in a whole dollar. I can just go boom, fucking A1, grab my fucking water and move the fuck on.
Yeah,
it's convenient as fuck.
No, there's definitely some very
convenience to like modern technology, and then there's AI that's able to like write some shit for you, because like the lawyer who used Chat GPT to write up something, he got in trouble for it. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, no, but I mean, we can assume that that's bad because as a lawyer, you're supposed to write your own shit. Like, or as a professor or writer, anybody writing a paper, you're supposed to write your own shit. So
you're supposed to, but like,
so you can't blame AI because his dumb ass decided. It's not AI's fault. That's his fault for being stupid and using it. You know, just like if you're driving a Tesla and you're like, oh, I'm just going to allow the car to drive itself. That's not the AI's fault. That you were dumb enough to let go of the steering wheel, especially
and go to sleep.
So let me ask you a question.
Let go of the steering wheel.
If you driving a Tesla, you look down for a second, you texting, it's something important happening, you let it drive itself.
No, nigga, stop. First off, pause all the way the fuck back. There's no such thing as texting and driving where it should be important and you look down. The fuck? If you're driving, the only thing that's important is driving.
If I paid $30,000 for a self-driving car, this car is driving itself.
You understand that $30,000 one for a vehicle is nowhere near a lot.
I was gonna say that wasn't.
Point that out for one. That'll barely get you a fucking gas guzzler. $30,000 is not a lot for a car.
Yeah.
Let me look up how much.
A driving car doesn't take away the fact that you're moving 85 miles an hour and that you should not take your eyes off of the road to text.
But you do understand.
So I paid $22,000.
You do understand. My husband does not have a driver.
Clearly, no one should ever give you a driver's license at all. No. Walk the rest of the days of your life if you believe that you should be able to look down and text while driving. No. It's supposed to help with assisting stuff. So, like, if you have a heavy hand and, like, say you pull more to the right, lane assist will help you stay in the middle of the lane and not necessarily drift left or right. Cruise control, so that way you don't get a cramp in your foot while constantly pressing the gas and the brake. So adaptive cruise
good for road trips.
But at no point did the bitch say stop driving, stop looking,
go to sleep,
and go to sleep.
Or sleeping. Yeah,
like no, this is not
a self-driving car. It's doing what it says it's doing.
Self-driving, as in you don't have to press acceleration or brake. You can guide the steering wheel, but you don't just let that bitch go and be like, just ride. Like, no.
I'm letting Jesus and Elon Musk take the wheel.
You're going to be sitting right next to Jesus. Like, oh, yeah, you and Jesus are going to be real comfortable with one another.
That's hilarious.
Don't do that.
So since we're talking about machines taking kind of human roles and customer service roles, do you think that it is possible to teach them, ethics, morals, empathy, etc.?
No, because
I don't think it's possible. I don't think you should, because not everyone's morals and ethics align. Now, if you want to teach them laws and then they go law black and white, well, then you just argue with your legislator and your congressman back and forth about
absolutely
writing certain laws.
To do it.
But that's the only thing that you can implement is, hey, black and white laws. So if you're speeding and the law says speeding ticket fucking $45, they come up, right, speeding ticket $45. Where now human interaction would be like, all right, I'm gonna let you go this time.
Right.
But if traffic stops are one of the leading causes for cop deaths. So if they get AI to do it, where you just forfeit the chance of not getting a ticket. Now you always will get a ticket.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to write black and white laws inside of it. You cannot write morals and ethics inside of it, because then you're giving them stuff that not everyone follows.
I agree, because you can't teach morals and ethics to a computer and be like, all right, dog, I need you to ethically feel this with your heart. No, that comes from parenting and what you actually believe. If you don't believe something is right or wrong in your house, then then it is what it is. Snuggles thinking word.
I believe in whooping children. A lot of parents don't.
I'm
not going to teach my robot to whoop my kids, though. I know how to reel my power back.
RJ, you safe from robots.
So with that being said, what jobs do you think like AI should not
do? Lawyers. They should not do decision-making jobs. So you could like using them to be a surgeon and to help do surgery is different, but they should assist the actual human making decisions, saying, hey, we should do this because of this. And then now, like, we got to wait, we got to hold it, we got to, fold them up. We need to go ask the parents or ask the family, do they want this? Because there's a risk of X, Y, and Z. And now you can have an AI say, hey, these are the risks. Boom, 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 boom. And it can tell you what's going on. But they should not be the ones making decisions. They shouldn't be lawyers.
Banker either.
Shouldn't be lawyers. Shouldn't be judges. They can be a bank teller, but they should not be like loan officers that are approving loans, right? Because that takes in more than just credit scores and then debt to income.
Right. Okay, what's the conversation with them about what your plan is or how
they're looking at more than just that, where they have to give human thought to things. Yeah. They should not be teachers. That building a relationship with another person. They should not,
or like a doctor where you see on a regular basis.
Like they should not be therapists. They shouldn't be cops. They shouldn't be any of that. Now, I would argue maybe cops, because our human cops are fucking trash. But
so I would argue that they shouldn't be cooks. Just because
I wouldn't mind them being cooks, because it's not necessarily decision making when it comes to like.
I think if they're cooks, it should be with humans.
I think there needs to be human assistance, like because
but like there's like, we say we're cooking with love, but there is no like actual love connection into cooking.
Right, but you need to be able to taste the things, because just because you plug in the numbers and the recipes for something to go at the right temperature, the right time, the right amount of salt, does not mean that that's what you need. It might mean
but it's more often than not, I can say this is what a teaspoon of salt, this is what it does to this meal. And so you can input that, which is why we created Red Qualls, which is why we created recipe books, because more often than not, if you follow the recipe book, it will taste the same. That's why they created those things. So you can put that recipe into a robot and say, hey, make this dish, and it should come out the same every single time.
And you can, for the most part. It's just certain things with certain tastes. Like, I think that they should assist rather than.
But are you following the recipe, or are you going Jamal style, where it's like, I need more, even though the recipe says not to add more?
No, I follow the recipe.
Well, if you follow the recipe, then it should taste the same.
Yeah, I mean, but I know my own recipes though, so.
So what do most of the positions you said, right, require education, require it minimally a bachelor's, if not a PhD of some sort, a medical degree. So with that being said, how does that affect honestly, the Black community specifically, but just those who are already living paycheck to paycheck, or the jobs that they work, because I know I personally currently work in the customer service industry. The jobs that we work are gone.
What I say is that what it will force us to do is pursue higher education jobs that will require that. So it'll start forcing us at a younger age to take our education and what we're going to do with our lives more seriously.
Yeah, but we don't have a time machine, though.
Yeah.
I'm at my age I am now.
As adults now, we can't go backwards, but as adults now we know, like, okay, hey, my job might be phasing out. What can I do right now?
Right.
Do you think that we putting too much on these kids that just came out of everything? Like, they're putting in.
You've had kids survive World War I, and then turn around and hit World War II, and then turn around and hit a Korean War, survive a Great Depression. Absolutely the fuck not. We're not putting.
Yeah, and what have those kids grown into? The adults who made these stupid ass decisions.
I mean, they've grown into the adults that made the society that you say that you don't like, but that you also benefit from. So it goes both ways. It's a two-way street. It goes both ways. The same boomers that we dislike because they won't get out of their ways are the same boomers that created the world that we benefit from. And so now we're taking over their spot, but we're trying to change some of the moral and ethical ways that they kind of fucked up. But even we have moral and ethical ways that Gen Z's like, hey, you niggas is old. Like, why do you still do that? So that's always going to be an issue. The generation before you has a different mindset, and the generation under you is going to be different. Like, that's always going to be an issue. But as far as like a rough time, as in figuring out what to do with your life, this time frame is not as difficult as back then, where options were more limited. You can't just be like, in 1963, black people be like, yep, I'm going to go in school and I'm going to fucking do this. Your schooling was limited. Your options were limited.
No, and I mean, I get you. Like, I'm not saying as an overall, like, I get it. We are in a great place. Like, we've had some people that have suffered through some shit. But I'm saying, as for where we came from and where they came from, when I graduated high school, we were going through a recession. There was the housing crisis. There was shit happening. Mm-hmm. Like my mom didn't have the money to pay for shit, like the things that I needed. So college wasn't a go for me. Like getting a higher education wasn't ever gonna fly. I didn't have a college fund. I didn't have money saved up. And we're asking these kids to come in, and it's like most of us, we have something for our kids.
Right. Well, first off, that's the start of it. You creating a better net or a better way for your kids to be able to do the things you didn't do. However, I think the biggest issue that we did not have was a stronger mindset on how to make things happen. Versus, well, my mom ain't got it, so I can't go. That's not always the case. There are ways of doing things. We just did not know the ways of doing it.
Because they didn't know the way.
Scholarships were a thing. Had you took your grades seriously, had you did better in school, grants were a thing. People are too lazy to fill out grants and send them off. So there are ways. It's just, are we willing to do those ways to get to where we need to go? And a lot of people, that answer is no. I'm not willing to spend an extra 4 hours trying to fill out a grant. And
no one tells you about these things. When I was in high school,
half of it is not knowing. But again, now that you know, this is information you can pass to your kids. Hey, when you hit middle school, this is probably a good time for you to start actually doing good in classes, because this follows you all the way through high school.
Absolutely.
Your best GPA will get you into a better school, which will get you into better connections, depending on what you want to do. Guess what? When it comes to medical school, law school, they only pick from top tier schools.
Right.
Harvard Law, Harvard Business School.
At the same time, this is happening right now, right? Mm-hmm. So it's not 10 years from now, 15 years from now. Jobs are going to be phased out by machines and robots in the next 5 years, right? For those, I would say our age, we could still go back to school right now and get it together. But just, maybe 40s and up, right? Mm-hmm. If you don't have a college education, how does that affect the poverty level, the classism? I feel like it creates a deeper.
I feel like there's no, and it sucks. I just feel like there's no way to deal with that. Classism and poverty, there's no way to deal with that. It's been a human issue.
It's the middle class, which already barely.
Which is already bad. The middle class is already up. It's not. We're gonna go back and cycle where there won't be a middle class anymore.
Right. I think you realized
poverty
really middle class when that egg crisis hit, because people that were still affording to eat eggs every day, that was a real middle class. That's a middle class thing. But anybody who couldn't afford $6 eggs, it's how are you getting by? How is this happening? Why is it happening to us?
I think the best way is to learn to adapt and overcome and think about the things that you might actually need. How many dishes do I use that actually require eggs? You know how many houses I've walked into, I've seen people's refrigerators and their eggs are sitting there, because they've had the eggs for the last month and a half because they cooked one thing with eggs and bought fucking 24 dozen or 2 dozen eggs. And they made one cake. So instead of just going to go get a dozen eggs or just borrowing 2 eggs from the fucking neighbor, you went and spent $12 on eggs.
And they just borrow eggs.
I mean, you can't. Would you rather spend $12 and have the rest of it go bad, or would you rather just borrow 2 eggs?
I mean, they're $2 at Trader Joe's, but I feel you, dog.
You know what I'm saying? How much food do we waste? Like, people really don't think about how much shit we waste.
Right.
If you start there with minimizing how much you waste, you'll start to realize what you can do to help prevent you from going into another recession or depression. The reason why a lot of Americans went that way is because they were wasteful. And then when a depression hit, they were like, oh shit, what do we do?
Right.
So if you are between the 40s and you know that this might affect your job, start now with maybe finding a trade, going to a trade school. A lot of those are only 10 months long, a few weeks long. Get a trade. Take whatever ability you have and try to cultivate your ability so that way AI can't take you out. Because there's tons of things that people would rather like. I'm not buying shoes from a robot, but I'll buy shoes from my homie that I know sells shoes.
Right.
So people still buy black owned. Ain't no such thing as a black owned robot.
I mean, that's real. That's true. So speaking of black owned, how do you think AI could help specifically black people?
Couldn't help 76ers.
It just depends, like what your business is, what you use it for, and because I don't think AI is going to help a specific group of people. I think AI helps humans overall.
It really, honestly, based off of what we just talked about, it sounds like it's going to do more damage to the black community than not, because we
only due to jobs, but
jobs. But it's going to take the jobs that don't require a bachelor's.
But maybe we start doing the jobs that require more physical labor that we didn't want to do.
Right, but on one hand, like as someone who went to college. And like you see how a bachelor's degree has been treated like a high school diploma, it does put more respect on your name there. However, it just, when you think about the overarching communities that we live in, like, I mean, even in a lot of people's cases, family members, like I know a lot of people who were the first to graduate and the first to whatever. So your personal family members would be affected. It's just, I feel like it would do just a bit more damage to it almost feels like redlining all over again. Like,
yeah, but I think it'll be more redlining versus not just black people, but it'll start redlining the classes. So you'll definitely start to see the difference between those that are in poverty and then those that actually have money. Just with how the jobs are set up and then who owns it, who's running it. But what it will do is open up an entire field that you might need more people in. So you're going to need software engineers left and right. You're going to need developers left and right because someone has to program these robots. Someone has to maintain these robots. Someone has to keep up maintenance.
You don't have to pay them, which means your salaries will be padded out a little better.
Yeah.
And then depending on how many people actually take their job serious and how well you do when it comes to development stuff, you're gonna start opening up Fortune 500 companies that are going to start to have to pay people to do these jobs. Now, unless we move into like a iRobot type of world where robots literally just fucking control everything, but I think at that point we've all seen the movie. Ain't shit you can really do. The human race is dwindling down any fucking way. So
man, baby,
fuck it.
Yeah. That's what I was going to ask about some of the conspiracy theories surrounding it. That basically that AI is going to take out the human race. They can recreate you. They can recreate your voice. They can.
At that point, you just start shooting robots and just move on.
Yeah.
Not you trying to take out my Switch.
Do you watch Black Mirror?
No.
Okay. Never mind.
He's not paying for Netflix and somebody cut him off.
Right. Actually, I pay for Netflix now. because nobody would allow me to use theirs, asshole. So I pay for it now. I had to watch Black Clover. So
gotcha.
So it's called Black Mirror.
Black Mirror, yeah. The new season recently came out.
It's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix. And I'm not gonna spoil anything. It is like, so each episode is its own entity. So it's not like a series or whatever. Each episode is its own story. But there is one episode in the new season in which basically like these two men are in space and they can connect to a machine and have their like
they can upload like their brain into a replica
of themselves on Earth and be with their family and all of that.
But they're on like this space mission for the next like 3 years or so.
Yeah, but they can feel everything. They have the conversations. Like it's their whole I guess entity or being and brain. And I thought that was really interesting. And I don't want to give away like the ending of it, but it was fucking crazy.
It was wild.
I'll check it out. We'll see.
Yeah.
When you get to that episode, we might have to make a Trap House episode about that last one in specific, or maybe the one with Anthony Mackie, where he started playing video games with his homie, and like.
Now that's something that we haven't spoken about, but like how AI, when it comes to creating an actual virtual reality, do you think that's something that actually could help, or do you think it's something that's just gonna?
So I think
make them vegetables.
I think that's the start of how we turn into like WALL-E and stuff like that, because like people are naturally lazy, and like the longer you give people the chance to not do shit, the more they're gonna take it. Because like, if I, for example, told you, Rich, I see your giant to-do list. Don't even worry about that, Playboy. I'm here to help you. Today you're gonna put up your feet, play video games all day, and do whatever you want.
You're not going to be like, no, I really want to take out the trash.
Nah, man, we can take this list. Brittany got me taking out the trash, washing dishes, mowing the lawn, all the stuff that you hate. Like all the stuff that's going to take all day on your off day. It's going to be strenuous. It's stupid. You don't want to do this. If someone offers you that chance, you're going to say, all right, thanks. Appreciate it.
Right.
Like you're not going to turn it down. And that's what AI is going to do. Like, it's going to offer you the chance to be like, hey, bro, you could get up and do this, or I can do it for you. All right, I'm going to go that route.
I mean, facts. Pure facts.
Like, I can't argue with that at all.
Because I would, if I don't have to do some shit, I'm definitely not going to fucking do it.
No, you wouldn't. Like, that's why Uber Eats is such like a great thing, because like if I don't have to drive out to go pick up my McDonald's and someone else could pick up my McDonald's for me, oh, you absolutely get my McDonald's.
Oh, but see that now that's where we differ.
How many times?
I'm not paying.
Rich loves McDonald's.
No. Here's the thing though. This is where you start learning like those who are cheap and those who are not. I'm not paying an extra $7 for a fucking meal that I know you've already spiked up anyway, and then have to have that shit. Nah, I'll go pick it up. McDonald's right down the street. I'll go pick it up. I'm saving that $7.
So McDonald's was a bad reason because there's a McDonald's on every block. But like, if you give me the option to not have to go wait in the Chick-fil-A line, I'm not waiting in the Chick-fil-A line.
That's why you got the app. I'll order on the app and then just go through the line and pick it up. I'm not paying for delivery at all. I'm not paying for shipped groceries. I'm not paying none of that.
I'm sorry. Yeah, Dwight, we mentioned the lawyers. He had said we're so far from that logistically, though. Y'all heard about the lawyers that use AI too.
Yeah. But we know that those lawyers are just dumb. Like, we know that.
Yeah.
Anybody with a half of a brain would understand that they shouldn't do that.
Yeah, because like if you're closing your case with an AI, it's like you could
like how lazy. Like if I'm your person that you're defending, I'm like I'm suing you. Like you couldn't even defend me well. You couldn't even represent me well. You had to go and because you were so lazy to do the job that you went and grabbed fucking a group chat that you knew people could fucking find.
So actually, let's go back and say that you don't sue them. Let's say that this was a landmark case and something big was going down. Now you can get this overturned and thrown out. Like if you were Tory Lanez and this happened in your case, this is judgment to like reverse. Mm-hmm. Throw all that shit out because y'all file in my case. So now that lawyer not only has to go to jail, but now they have to
honestly, that lawyer should really. I don't know what the consequences are, but
most likely, I don't think jail is hard for jail is a giant punishment. Just wouldn't be jail, but he would definitely lose his job. And when I say lose his job, like you should lose your license to be a lawyer, not just get fired from that firm. No, you should lose your license to be a lawyer.
Yeah.
Which effectively will ruin you anyway because it means that you went to school for all this shit for no reason.
Yep.
Yeah, which is like what?
Law school ain't cheap. I got a sister.
Oh, absolutely not. Law school's not cheap, and you still got to pay that shit back.
Facts.
So
facts. But yeah.
We lost Rich.
We lost Rich. That's so sad.
Dang. The AI took him out.
They're listening.
Alexa took Rich out.
My bad.
They're listening. Yeah, that's one. Alexa, who I feel like is like always listening, responds when she shouldn't be. She be tripping.
Alexa and Bixby, bitch ass, always listening to shit.
Dog, always.
Facts.
Like imagine AI getting worse to the point where like you think now, oh, every time I say something, it's on my phone. Yeah. Now imagine if that was already in your car.
I ain't gonna lie, that shit do be throwing me off. I can.
It's off-putting. It's off-putting as fuck.
Very, because like sometimes you don't even say it out loud, and you're just thinking it, and it's right there, and it's like I didn't even say this to anyone. Like I never even brought this up.
Or like I can Google it, right? I can Google it on my computer. I'm not on no Facebook, no nothing. I can Google, mopeds. And dead ass, as soon as I open up my Facebook, I got ads for mopeds left and right. I'm like, bro, I didn't even look up here for this shit.
And it'd be like, nah, bro, like I don't know how this happened. I'm scared. Whoever's listening.
Like, who's listening to my shit?
Please stop.
That's hilarious. Yeah, no, that's weird. It's off-putting as shit for real. So I have one last question. If you guys had, all the money to afford whatever you'd like to afford in the world of AI, what piece of technology or what would you want to
Zordon?
Yeah. Huh?
Zordon. Something like Zordon. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep. If I can create something like Zordon, I absolutely the fuck would.
If he gets Zordon, I want a Voltron. I want fat lion robots to come.
I want a big ass white fucking head to fucking come down and like give me like the news of the day, give me the fucking weather, like get ready to fucking set my car up, like fucking Batman style, bring that shit out, ready to roll. Hey Zordon, make sure dinner started. Like he on that shit.
5 flying robots. All right. We're gonna form Voltron and get a big ass sword. We out here.
I'll have my watch connected to him, like, hey Zordon, like I'm about to go to fucking Shipley's. Like, what's the line like? And he can be like, oh yeah, hey, it's like 10 people there. You good? Or hey, avoid that McDonald's because it's about to be a shootout. like that.
All right.
Dwight said protocol droids from Star Wars. That's a good one. I don't know if I trust droids. Shout out to the Mandalorian.
I would go with Rosie. I'd want a Rosie.
Nah, she talked too much shit to me. Like
I would want like a personal assistant, nanny, cleaning robot person.
Don't they already have that? The little fucking floor robot that runs around.
No, I don't want a floor robot.
Nah, that nigga took out my Switch.
Person robot. Yeah, we have a floor robot. I want someone to like.
Oh, like from the Jetsons?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rosie. Cook, clean, type of situation.
But what happened when she get pissed off at you and try to fucking like short circuit your ass?
I thought we weren't programming emotions.
I mean, that's true. Yeah.
So you do what you do. You're cooking, you're cleaning, you're doing all the stuff. You're my personal assistant. Remind me of this. Do this. Like, help me, because I have fucking mom brain and I circuit over. Like, I feel like that's the craziest part, is that you focused only on yourself most of your life, and all of a sudden, boom, now you have other people's schedules and lives and shit you have to fucking remember.
I'm supposed to take care of her. And
yeah,
like them, and
they have to eat and shit.
It's real ghetto.
It's super ghetto.
Yeah.
Anywho, I think that is all I really had. Like, at the end of the day, AI is here. It's not a 20 years from now.
It's scary.
We still don't have flying cars though. The fuck?
We still don't have flying cars.
Because gas would be like obsolete. If we had flying cars, we wouldn't use gas.
I'm just saying, Back to the Future has
airplanes use gas.
Yeah, but
in Power Rangers SPD, we were in the year 2020, and the motherfuckers had flying cars. They had all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
And here we are, 2023, and I still gotta walk to work.
SPD is my boy's favorite Power Rangers. Shout out to Dre.
Yeah. But anywho, make sure you guys check us out on Patreon, where Shay and I would shout out to Shay. She's in Nigeria right now for a spiritual journey.
She decided to go to Africa, called the spiritual journey. All right.
But she is in Nigeria right now, so safe travels to her, and I hope she has a great trip.
Yeah.
But anyways, you can check us out on Patreon for exclusive content from Keeping It Real. We're also gonna have Blurred X Trap House. I don't know why I said the X, but Trap House is going to have exclusive first peek on all of their freshly recorded episodes. So you would get those first, and then the following Saturday, some of it may be released to the general public. We'll see how that goes. But check us out on Patreon and on YouTube. Like, comment, and share. All of
next month we'll be going to BlurredCon, so y'all check out for content from BlurredCon. We'll be out there doing live interviews and all kinds of fun stuff. We're all dressing up and cosplaying, rather. Let me not say dress up, because then people get offended.
We're all cosplaying.
So, yeah, I know dress up.
You're dressing up.
So it should be a lot of fun. And next week, catch us back here at 8:30, where we will do our What the Fuck Did I Miss This Month? Catch up from the month of June, because it has been a blur for me.
Yeah.
It's a lot of shit happening. But until next time, guys, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay unapologetically Black.
Gang.